In this lesson, I'd like to talk about the Flex feature. Let's open a part from your Chapter 5 folder. Open the deformstrap.solid part. The Flex feature has 4 modes of working. It will allow you to bend, stretch, taper, and twist. Let's open it up and have a look at the interface. You can find the Flex feature under Insert, Features, Flex. The first item that it's looking for is a solid body to work on. And then it wants you to establish what type of operation: bend, twist, taper, or stretch. The hard edges option means that it's going to cut the model, make the transformation, and then join it back together behind the scenes. The places where it will be cut are delineated by these trim planes, and you can use the double arrows on the trim planes to position them correctly. The next thing that you want to do with the bend operation is to position the bend line, and I would encourage you to use the arrows on this triad to position the bend line approximately where you want it. If you don't use that, you're liable to wind up with the red and the blue axis out in space somewhere, which is most unhelpful. So just use the arrows to move the axis in orthogonal directions. You can also establish the trim plane locations with numbers or with reference entities if you like. If you have them available, that's certainly a way you can go. The flex itself, or the bend in this case, is established either by a radius or by an angle. And if we key in the 30-degree angle, SOLIDWORKS figures out the radius for us. So we can bend this 180 degrees, or let's go to 70. Interestingly, it allows the model to intersect itself. Click on OK. Does it allow that to remain? Yes, it does. It's very interesting because the whole thing's a single solid body, but it's definitely self-intersecting. So this is probably something that would cause an error later on. I certainly wouldn't leave this in that state. So you might relax this a little bit and make it about 230. Now see what SOLIDWORKS has done. At the trim plane locations, you can see there are hard edges, and the bend starts from those hard edges. Everything else is left as it was, but everything between the trim planes is going to be flexed or deformed slightly. I would not use the flex feature to actually design parts. I would use it as a looks like model. So if I had to illustrate a bent strap or a strap bent around something, I would use it for that, but I would design this thing using regular SOLIDWORKS features. Let's take a look at some of the other functions. If we wanted to twist, we could still use those same trim planes and just use the angle to twist the model. You'll notice that flex is one of the slowest features that's available in SOLIDWORKS. Let's take another look. Taper. We have in this case the trim planes, and SOLIDWORKS will allow us to taper between those two planes, increasing the size of the model on one side and decreasing it on another. I have difficulty thinking of a time when I would actually use this, but it's an interesting idea. The stretch would be easy to envision using. You're just elongating a certain section of the model, while the model outside of the trim planes is left the way it was. You can also use flex accuracy options. This is a slider that allows you to specify how accurate you want the model to be and how long you want to wait for the rebuild. Obviously, more accuracy is going to mean waiting a long time. The default setting is right about here. So the flex feature is available to create looks-like models for a pictorial depiction and will allow you to do a number of things. In fact, you could also do multiple operations. For example, you could first twist this strap and then bend it or stretch it. Just be careful when you're actually trying to design something. I would design it explicitly using real features rather than something so approximate as the flex.